All signs point to Bobby Wagner signing with the Los Angeles Rams in NFL free agency. We're talking about that and a whole lot more on today's show. But first, here on the 49ers Report, we're bringing you free daily videos covering the latest 49ers news and rumors, free agency coverage as evidenced by all of the content we've been pushing out the last 2 weeks, NFL draft coverage about to ramp up here momentarily. So subscribe to the channel if you want to be a part of the largest 49ers news and rumors channel here on YouTube that's quickly approaching 60,000 subs. How do you do it? You hit that red subscribe button down below, and faithful, let's chop it up. All right, welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. What a day across the National Football League, and we're going to talk about all of that and all of the moves pertaining to San Francisco coming up. But first, today's show presented to you by the fine folks at Manscaped and their Ultra Premium Collection. 5 products for $39.99 so that you can be looking and smelling good for your significant other. I'm going to put that link in the comment section as well as the description of this video. 20% off, free shipping for the faithful manscaped.com/49ers, promo code 49ers as well. So we start off today's show with the latest about Bobby Wagner. When he was first released by the Seattle Seahawks, some chatter about him wanting to team up with Fred Warner and maybe him going to another interdivision rival in the San Francisco 49ers. All signs, though, point to Bobby Wagner going to the defending Super Bowl champions. How does that make you feel? Ian Rapoport, NFL Network, with this. Rams are loading up again. Sources say 6-time All-Pro linebacker Bobby Wagner visiting them, and there is mutual interest in doing a deal, a potential huge defensive addition. And it certainly would be, literally and physically, for the Rams. They have lost a lot of players on the defensive side of the football and offensive side of the football throughout this offseason, and Bobby Wagner, the bound-to-be Hall of Famer, can still really play, even though he's in his early 30s and he's somewhat expensive. At least that's what I anticipate with him signing on with Los Angeles. 2020, 2021. This guy is still a tackling machine. He can get burnt in coverage, but in the box, sideline to sideline, he can still do it all. 128 tackles 2 years ago, 170 this past year. Prior to him getting released by the Seattle Seahawks, he was one of the highest paid linebackers in the National Football League. Now, you take a look at when he was targeted in coverage in 2021, a completion percentage of almost 82%. So for San Francisco, if they want a game plan against a guy who's caused a lot of havoc against them for many, many years since getting drafted in 2012, maybe you can thrash at him in coverage. As for what he did solely this past year, we talk about him dropping back in coverage, not being the same guy, but this is a playmaker who can make up for lost athleticism with an extraordinarily high football IQ. It's a big reason why he's going to the Hall of Fame, a franchise icon for Seattle, and anytime the Niners would go up against Seattle and Bobby Wagner was on the field, and he was on the field a whole lot because he's been extremely durable, you have to circle 54 and understand that if you go in his direction with the run game, with the pass game, he can really get you. Are you mad Wagner is going to the Rams? I really want to sense where the faithful is at because, again, we talk about that chatter about him maybe being interested in San Francisco. Instead, a team that beat the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. Type M, I'm mad. G, for your Gucci, you're all good. Let me know in the comment section right now. Now, Bobby Wagner going to the Rams never really made a lot of sense to me. Bobby Wagner going to the 49ers, never made a lot of sense to me for a couple of reasons. I think San Francisco is really set at that linebacking position and at that linebacking core. And with how old he is and how much he might demand with his new contract, I didn't think and anticipate that the 49ers were going to be willing to bring in an older player who they're paying possibly a lot of money to. Another reason why I didn't think that Bobby Wagner going to the Niners made a lot of sense, I'm cool with this linebacking core right here. Fred Warner is one of the best all-around defenders in the National Football League. That's why he's the second highest backer in the NFL behind Darius Leonard. Azeez Al-Shaair coming back after getting tendered, you're paying him only around $4 million, and he made a bunch of monster plays last year in a bunch of critical spots. And Dre Greenlaw, while he was often injured in 2021, he's still a really good backer who can really succeed through the air when he's getting targeted, but also in that ground game. So the 49ers linebacking depth chart, I'm really confident in this group moving forward. You also bring in Oren Burks for linebacker depth, mostly on special teams, but he can be a depth piece. You're bringing back Demetrius Flannigan-Foles. We'll see if Marcel Harris can crack this roster as well, and if he comes back to the Bay. But the core of that linebacking core, it's really in a good spot for San Francisco moving forward. That's why I didn't think Bobby Wagner to San Francisco made a lot of sense. So I want to challenge you here. Grade the Niners linebacking core from 1 to 31. So 32 teams in the National Football League. Where do you think the Niners linebacking core ranks among all teams? Let me know once more and sound off in the comment section. 49ers Report, presented to you by the fine folks at Manscaped. Now, the 49ers and the Rams have both been active in free agency. If you want to get active with your significant other, you'll be on the right path with the Ultra Premium Collection from Manscaped. $39.99 for a bevy of fantastic products. Shampoo and conditioner, body wash. Chapstick is criminally underrated. And the body spray, I had to spray down producer Chugs. We're getting ready to play basketball after this, and I was like, yo, homie, if you're smelling like this prior to basketball, here's some Manscaped body spray so that you can be smelling a lot better. 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/49ers. Enter that promo code 49ers. That link available in the comment section and the description. Monster news in the NFL today when Tyreek Hill was traded from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Miami Dolphins. And what did the Chiefs receive? First-round pick in 2022, second-round pick this year, a fourth-round pick in this year's draft, as well as a fourth and a sixth in 2023. The Dolphins solely receive one of the most dynamic playmakers in the NFL who's been getting it done for a long time. And in doing so, and in completing this trade, Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins gave Tyreek Hill a historic contract. 4 years, $120 million, $30 million average annual value with a guaranteed figure that is now the highest in the history of the NFL for wide receivers at $72+ million upon signing. Now, for Tyreek Hill, he secures the bag. What does this mean for Deebo Samuel, who last year emerged as one of the most valuable players in the NFL, and outside of quarterbacks, I thought he was one of the most impactful players in the NFL because he changed and altered games as a wide receiver, outside and inside, but also played excellent football as a running back and was borderline unstoppable. This is my Deebo Samuel contract extension projection, and I put this together before Tyreek Hill got paid and after Davante Adams got the bag. I think Deebo, with Tyreek Hill signing that contract, is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood in terms of all of these figures with Davante Adams as well as Tyreek Hill. And remember that the NFL salary cap is only going to continue to rise because of these new TV deals that are coming in. So the Deebo Samuel contract extension projection, 5 years, $120 million total, average annual value of $24 million with $65 million guaranteed. I'm fascinated to see how a couple of things play out. How Tyreek's contract and Davante Adams' contract impacts Deebo Samuel, and if and when the Niners sign Deebo Samuel, because right now we're living in a golden era of wide receivers, and it looks as though a lot of organizations are electing to not pay some of these wide receivers and instead draft them in the NFL draft because you're only paying a fraction of a price for a guy like Justin Jefferson or a Jamar Chase who can make immediate impacts upon getting drafted, and they cost nowhere close to Tyreek Hill, Davante Adams, and hopefully soon Deebo Samuel. Should Deebo get more or less than the Cheetah? M for more, L for less. I think he's going to get a little bit less, but if you disagree with me, that's all good. You can let me know in the comment section. Make sure you follow me on social media as well. It's the same handle on both Twitter and Instagram. Been posting all of our shows, all of our live content, but also clips from all of these shows because these Twitter and Instagram takes, they're fire. What can you say? At Chase_Senior, give me a follow. And hey, I give shout outs to a lot of those who give me follows on social media. I really do appreciate the support. Real quickly, I talked about the Niners being active so far in free agency today. We'll see what happens now until midnight. Maybe some other moves come across the wire, but as of right now, 3 signings, all back, 1-year contracts. We already talked about Jordan Willis earlier today. Dontae Johnson also returning to the Niners on a 1-year deal. So too is Jeff Wilson. Now, Wilson's somewhat intriguing and worth talking about because he enters a backfield that looks to be pretty set for 2022. Elijah Mitchell, Trey Sermon, Jeff Wilson, JaMychal Hasty. Those are your 4 backs on the current depth chart. Wilson taking to Instagram to say, yo, faithful, I'm thankful. Can't wait to continue my 49ers tenure. And last year, coming off that knee injury, he was able to do some pretty good things. You take a look at the numbers. The North Texas product, same university as producer Jeremy Chuggs, 79 totes of the rock, 294 yards to go along with 2 touchdowns for the former North Texas product. As for Dontae Johnson, 30 tackles last year, no picks, 2 pass breakups. But when you lose K'Wan Williams, you prioritize signing Dontae Johnson, who can do a lot of the same things as K'Wan Williams. He's going to be missed. K'Wan is getting after the quarterback in terms of blitzing. But slot corner, Dontae Johnson will help fill that void. So too will Ambry Thomas, Diamador Lenore, Emmanuel Mosley, and we'll see which other moves are left in free agency, but also in the NFL draft. Before we hop on out of here, the real ones know, and I want to give you a second to try to decipher what this means to my right. What do you think this means? Well, this is why you subscribe to the channel, because we're real ones, and the real ones know, red and gold till we dead and cold. Spam that into the comment section. Those of you who do, I'm showing you some love in that comment section, and thanks for watching today's show.